So I thought it would be interesting as a pretty casual Modern Warfare player, especially in comparison to the people who've already prestiged about like 5 or 6 times. Just sort of the way that that I approach something like team deathmatch or kill confirmed, or some of these the more of the basic yet popular game modes. Right now I'm using the Scar. I have 2 attachments right now. I'm using the red dot and the silencer. I find people go down pretty fast in Modern Warfare 3, so while the silencer does take a little bit of the edge off of my range, it still has enough power to put people down pretty quickly, and it means that I don't have people zeroing in on me on the radar every time I fire the gun. Now I'm having a pretty rough start here. Everywhere I go, it seems that I get nailed, and I sort of have to cower in a corner. I've just been camping in this building to start off, pretty much, because every time I peek my head out, someone just like unloads on me. Anyway, my 3 perks are Sitrep Pro. That's the most important one that I'm using. Assassin Pro. Again, so people don't find me on the radar. And look at that, I'm getting lit up again. And Sleight of Hand. For those firefights, having a quick reload is invaluable. And so this has been an extremely frustrating minute and a half right now. No kills, no real action. But this is pretty nice. I get nailed by this flashbang and I go prone, and these 2 guys just run pretty much right by me. I'm able to mow them both down. And that's the beginning of things to start to turn around for me. This is an interesting game, as it turns out. I have, oh, here's another load of guys that miraculously somehow again I managed to survive. This game I sort of go up and then I go down. Like at one point in the near future, because of bad shooting like that, I end up going into a death streak. I start getting my death streak, which I think is juiced. I think juiced is my death streak here. Anyway, so just to continue with my loadout and such, my secondary is a stinger, which I think is extremely important. There are all these people who never use a launcher as their secondary, and the reality is very rarely I find you have the opportunity, particularly with a game mode like this, to use a secondary that's, oh, look at that, again, it's like I'm camping and I know they're coming and I still have problems. Anyway, a launcher is very important, because there are people who will get, really high kill streaks. They'll get Reapers, they'll get Hinds or Cobras, and those things, particularly the attack helicopters, the automated attack helicopters, they stay on the map forever unless you take them down. And people just aren't willing to either have a launcher on their class or to switch to a class that has a launcher. Anyway, so like I'm just getting mowed down here, and as you can see, I'm on my death streak now. I've got juiced. I mean, I'm so frustrated. I'm not even remembering to lay down my bouncing Betty. You will notice that my tactical grenade is a trophy system, which I don't think I make much use of this particular match. I tried to a little bit later in an effort to get out of the stealth bomber, but I in my haste I forgot that the stealth bomber, in fact, does not get stopped by a trophy system, but it's great for predator missiles. I get hit by predator missiles all the time. See, I've taken out 2 helicopters here with my stinger, and those things would have just unleashed on my team, because I'm pretty sure that nobody else had launchers. Nobody else seemed to be in a particular hurry to take out the UAVs or the other aircraft. Anyway, so here's where things start to pick up for me again. I've taken out those 2 kill streaks. I finally put down my IMS. And this guy up top in the dome seems to get a little distracted. I'm able to pop him as he sort of comes up and nail that guy who backs into my line of fire. So now I have my care package and my sentry gun streak ready to go. So I figure, okay, I'll toss him in the corner. It's always dangerous on dome because it's so small, but I feel like I'm reasonably well covered here. I just sort of sit back and hope that there's nobody coming that's going to be able to steal my crates and such. Pick them up, call in my helicopter, and this is quite the turning point here for also the. You'll notice that it's 5100 to 6300, and none of these people on the team have launchers, it seems. So my helicopter starts doing huge damage. You'll see just like 100s pop up here and there throughout the whole. The rest of the whole match. Now this is what I love about sentry guns, is just getting into one of those fire corridors and just letting it down and letting it do the work for you. Now had I been smart, I would have backed up a little bit around this corner because it got nailed with a couple of flashbangs here. Gee, this is like the third flashbang or the fourth flashbang I've been full on hit with. And so they take out the gun, I'm able to knife this guy, but then I go down. Anyway, so that was like a nice good 10 kills or so between my my sentry gun, my knife, and my helicopter at that point. Look at that, another flashbang. I was like a flashbang magnet, I swear. And I put down that trophy system in an effort to, of course, avoid the stealth bomber. It doesn't work, of course. But every time you hear the Predator missile come down, if you plant down your trophy system, you will never die from a stealth missile again, from a Predator missile again, rather. So at this point, it was actually really close. Look, it's 7,400 to 7,300. So I just camp out here to see if anyone comes around the corner for the final kill, but somebody else grabs it, and we managed to pull a very narrow victory from the jaws of defeat. Pretty good, by 2 kills. Doesn't get much closer than that. I've played a couple games where it's 7,500 to 7,400, but they're pretty rare. And so there we go, 20 kills, 2 assists, and 7 deaths.